Hi, this is a quick guide of how to install Haskell. So we start by going to the haskell.org homepage, which brings you to this page. And the link we're interested in is this Get the Haskell platform. The Haskell platform is a standard distribution of Haskell with the GHC Haskell compiler and a set of standard libraries. It comes as one-click installers for Windows and Mac, and on Linux it comes you can get various different versions depending on which Linux you're using. So on Windows you have a simple setup program which you just execute and then it does the rest for you. On a Mac you will need Xcode installed, presumably a later version, ideally a version later than 3.0. The Mac version comes in two versions, 32 bits and 64 bits. If you have a 64-bit operating system, for example Snow Leopard, then it's probably best to install the 64-bit version, because if you link to C libraries, they are usually only available as, or often only available as 64-bit versions. On Linux and other Unix systems, you should use the one bundled with your distribution. Same for FreeBSD and OpenBSD. If none of these work for you or are not the latest version, you can get a source package which you then can build yourself using the standard 3 installation steps. But if you do that, you first need to also install the latest version of GHC from the GHC homepage. Now, once you install GHC and the Haskell platform, you should be able to run the GHC. You should have the GHC executable installed, and it should be in your path. Same for GHCI, which is the GHC based interpreter. So see if it works. Yes, it does. In addition to GHC, you get the Cabal build tool. Cabal is a package manager for Haskell packages. When you install it for the first time, you should probably run Cabal update, which downloads the latest version from this address. So the haskell.org website contains a list of all Haskell packages that have been uploaded, but as you can see, it's a very long list of packages of various categories. The Cabal tool allows you to install these packages from the command line, and it will automatically track all dependencies. For example, Cabal list allows us to list a package matching a certain string, for example vector, and here we see a list of all the packages whose name contains vector, and the latest available version and the latest installed version. To install the package, use install and then the name of the package. For example, vector will in this case download all the dependencies and then build it for you. In this case, I have already installed it. Cabal can also install binaries, so vector happens to be a library that a package that only contains one library, but you can also install executables. For example, the Darks version control system is a Cabal package, and when you install it, you get a binary. I'm not going to do that here because it takes a while, and I already did it before, so this one won't do anything. Now, Cabal does not put installed direct Cabal by default builds packages only accessible to the current user and in a special directory. Now, to see this directory, to be able to run files from this directory, you need to add them to the path. In this case, it's under my home directory /library Haskell bin. On other operating systems, and it's of course different. Cabal also has a configuration file. It's in the .cabal directory. And it has some comments here about which directory to use. For example, here it lists you the line you have to add to your shell. We also have locally installed documentation. Looks like this. This is the documentation for all the packages that have been installed. You can also find documentation on the homepage under this link, library documentation, which gives you a similar list. You can browse the Haskell library database, so packages. Each package is available using the address package and then the name. So for example, the vector library looks like this, and down here you have information about all the modules. Yes, that's it for today.